Welcome back to mission number 2 of day 1, which is create your 5 to 7 figure offer blueprint. All right. So let's dive in to the purpose behind this mission. So I'm sure you have seen this book by our friend Alex Hormozi. All right. While we may not agree on 14-hour workdays, I do agree on a lot of his approaches around creating offers that convert. All right. So inside of this book, Alex shares a formula, which is called the value formula or the value equation, which basically states that the prospect's dream outcome multiplied by the likelihood of achievement divided by the time delay multiplied by the effort and sacrifice required to reach the dream outcome equals value. Okay? Now, this is a very well thought out equation. However, for people like me that are maybe slower, it's a little bit complicated. All right? So I'm going to zoom out and take it to my man, Mr. Bob Proctor. Okay? So Bob Proctor has educated me about what is called the law of compensation, which states that you will always earn in proportion to the value that you deliver to the market. Okay, let's say that again. The law of compensation states that you will always earn in proportion to the value you deliver. He's basically saying what Alex Hormozi is saying, in my opinion, in a much simpler, cleaner way. Okay, so we're going to run with this quote to illustrate this concept of how do you engineer a 5 to 7 figure offer that magnetizes the market. Okay, because again, we're all about attracting. We're all about energy. We're all about attraction, not chasing. Everything is energy. Same goes for sales. Same goes for business. We want to attract clients like a magnet. So how do you do that? Well, if you want 5 to 7 figure clients, you need to solve 7 to 9 figure problems. In other words, you need to deliver 7 to 9 figures in value. Okay? If you deliver 5 figures in value to a 5-figure client, that ain't going to work. Right? Like it might work once, it might work 3 times, it might work 5 times, but long-term sustainably, those clients are not going to stick around if they're getting a 1-to-1 return, especially in B2B. Okay? Because we're specifically talking about B2B, right? Why? Because they have expensive problems to solve and they have the money to solve it, right? Like I have sold, $30,000 websites to CMOs, and I have sold $3,000 coaching programs to freelancers. Which sale do you think was harder? The freelancers, even though it was 10 times less money. Why? Well, because they don't have a lot of money. Meanwhile, the 30K website was sold to a funded startup or a PE funded startup or a 8-figure service company. It's all about targeting the right market. Just by targeting the right market, you're going to unlock cash flow. Okay? And so what we need to do is we need to find 7 to 9 figure problems to solve. That is how you get 5 to 7 figure clients. So how do you do this? Well, you need to quantify the value that you provide. I can't tell you how many freelancers, consultants, agencies, whatever, go out to the market and they've never really truly quantified the value of the service they provide. Like, I'll just tell you a quick story. I have a buddy who at the time was doing PPC marketing and advertising and etc. for Amazon stores. And he was charging like $1,500 to maybe $2K a month. And I was like, dude, was like, dude, for your client to replace you, it would cost at least $10,000 a month. And he's like, you think? Like, you think? I'm like, I don't think, I fucking know, because I go to Google and I look at Indeed and I say, look, you're doing the work of 3 entry-level people plus a manager level plus an executive level. So really it's like 15 to 30K a month. And he's charging $1,500 a month dealing with bullshit, like having to be on his phone all the time. Like, that's part of my French. That's horrendous. Okay. So how do you solve this problem of quantifying your value? Well, first you need to understand there's really 3 types of value. First is quantitative. Quantitative is, okay, I'm going to help you save 30% on your taxes per year. Boom, done, clear. Or I'm going to help you get 2 clients a month worth $10,000 each. Boom, clear. Then there's qualitative value, which is I'm going to help you have less anxiety. Okay? Or I'm going to help you have more confidence. Or I'm going to save you more time. So when it comes to 5 to 7 figure clients in B2B specifically, they care most about 1 and 3. Qualitative is great, but quantitative cuts through the noise. It's money in, money out, super clear. And personally, that's where I like to be playing, because the qualitative, again, it's valuable, but it's fuzzy and it takes longer to educate the prospect. 3 is market retail value, which is a very good representation of this quote by Bob Proctor, which is basically how much would it cost to replace this work in the market. Now, if you live in the USA and you want to work with companies in the USA, you need to understand that those companies are looking at spending, on the lowest end, $45,000 a year to, on the highest end, $71,000 per year, not including bonuses or performance incentives, which is a $56K per year median, which is $4.6K per month minimum for one entry-level, entitled, fresh out of college, has no experience in the marketplace person. This is why companies are only going to be laying off more people, because they have entry-level talent starting at $5K a month. So they have to go out, if they want to hire an entry-level person, they have to give them benefits, they have to give them training, and they have to wait, if they're lucky, 6 months, but more likely 18 months or 2 years, maybe even 3, before that person that they just invested $56,000 per year in ever produces a return, if ever. That is a huge opportunity for you if you want to go and target those same businesses. So that's what this is all about. That is how you create a magnetic offer. Because if you want to magnetize the market to your offer, you simply need to increase the value versus the price. Okay? So, again, let's go back here. If you want a 5-figure client, okay, so let's just say $5,000, because personally, I don't think anyone listening to this, I don't care if you're in India or the Philippines or wherever, I don't think you should ever work with anyone for less than $5,000. And I don't think you should build a business around clients worth less than $5,000. So let's just set that as the bare minimum. And why is that? Well, it allows you the cash flow necessary to staff out the workload at a healthy profit margin of at least 80%. Okay? So that's why 5K, and we used to say 2K a month, but inflation's real. Okay? And 2K a month for 3 months is basically 6K. So yeah, let's just say 5K is the bare minimum, right? So on the low end, let's say we want to get our clients a 3x ROI. This is just back of the napkin math, right? We want to deliver at least $15,000 in value up to 10x, $50,000 worth of value. Okay? So if you want to charge $5,000, you need to deliver 15K to 50K of value. Okay? That's it. That's what you need to figure out. Okay? Now, once you understand this, the rest is literally just math and just systems. Okay? This is the only thing you need to think about. Who has 7 to 9 figure problems? And, let's just be generous. Let's just call it 6 figures. And really it's like 5.5, but let's just say 6 figures. Who has a 6-figure problem that I can go solve? Boom. There's your target market. All right. So we're going to dive deeper into this, but this is the most important thing for you to realize right now. Now we are going to implement step 1 of mission number 2, which is create your 5 to 7 figure offer blueprint. All right. So let's get into it. So this is the blueprint. Okay. This is a very detailed document that is going to allow you to map out every single component of your offer, okay? And to help you with this, I've included examples and a template. Okay? I'll share the Google Doc link for you, and then just go in, update this. Now, if you upgrade, you can do all of this with AI in literally minutes, but I would even recommend that before you do that, you just do this once manually, just to get into the routine of it, because it is a very powerful exercise. So for this offer blueprint, we're going to go through literally every single step and component of your offer. So first is, who's the target market? Secondly, what is the transformation? Third, what challenges does it eliminate? And then all of these have examples, as you can see. Fourth, what is the process? 5, what is the return on investment? So going back to what we were just talking about, I'm providing you with very specific details about how to break down the quantitative, qualitative, and retail market value of what you're offering. What are the components? What is the pricing? How much time does it take? Why get started now? So we're going to help you create a pre-sale offer that you can use to go to the market and sell out fast. This is how I first launched my accelerator program back in 2017. We sold 10 units at $3,000, which were 10 of the hardest sales I've ever done in my whole life, because we were selling to freelancers that didn't really have much cash, and they were paying out of pocket. So that's why I'm now telling you, don't target freelancers that don't have money, right? Target businesses that have 6, 7, 8, 9-figure problems that you can solve quickly, okay? So we break down all the details here. 10, what proven success and credibility do you have here? And so, for some of you guys listening, you might be like, well, I have no credibility. Well, that's not true. But let's say you don't have, quantifiable results, perhaps, with clients. guarantees are a big part for you, right? While I do not like guarantees for more experienced people, for beginners, guarantees or even just doing free work initially is totally viable, to just get a case study under your belt. Okay, so I have a whole worksheet around guarantee creation as well. And then lastly is how to get started. So make a copy of this, fill it out. In addition to the offer blueprint, I've included a few bonuses. Again, these are not completely essential to complete the initial free trial challenge here, but they are very helpful. So yeah, that's that for mission 2. If you want to generate and optimize your targeting, your positioning, and your offering with AI in minutes instead of hours, you can upgrade and I'll give you all the prompts. You can build all of these assets out within literally 38 minutes. That was my personal time last time I did this. So yeah, that's that. And also if you want to get live expert feedback on your blueprint, on your assets, then you'll need to upgrade to the live version of the challenge. But that being said, this is plenty for you to implement on your own and get results. So yeah, let's crush it. I look forward to seeing your results, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.